Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Do you like to use glitter cards on some of your designs? Well, today I'm going to show you how to make some glitter card for yourself, because sometimes buying it can be quite expensive. So what you're going to need is a piece of card and a piece of double-sided adhesive sheet that's the same size as the card, and obviously you're going to need some glitters. Now when you're using your glitters, make sure that you've got enough in your pot to cover the whole card, but of course you will be tipping some of it back into the pot when you've added this to your sheet. So the first thing we need to do is to remove the backing off one side of the sticky double-sided sheet. So this is the sticky side, and what I'm going to do is pop this down on top of the plain white card and press it down all the way so it's stuck to the sheet. Now once you've done that and it's all pressed down, let me just move these out of the way, and that's all pressed down, what we need to do is put some copy paper underneath to catch all the rest of the glitter. Now once you've got that all stuck down, you're going to remove the backing off the other side, and there's the sticky side. So we'll just take that off. So I've got it on some copy paper right now, and I'm going to use gold on mine. So I'm just going to sprinkle this gold all over this sticky backing sheet. So we need to make sure it's all covered. And then we can tap off the excess. And then we can pour all this back into the container. And this is where you, your house, the cat and the kids all get covered in glitter. So to make sure that that's all pressed down onto the backing, what I'm going to do is cover it with some, I'll use the other side of this carrier sheet, and I'm going to run that through the die cutting machine to make sure that that's all pressed down onto the sheet. And I'm just going to run it through on an embossing sandwich. So once you've embossed that, it's all nice and flat to the card. And really a lot of glitter now shouldn't come off that because it's all pressed down well into the glue. So we can get rid of these, and the next thing we're going to do is just cut this into strips. So for that you're going to need a paper trimmer, and all I'm going to do is cut it into strips along the long piece. So I want to cut this into 2 centimetre strips, and that's this first mark on my little paper trimmer. So I'm just going to cut that into 2 centimetre strips until I've got all the card cut. So I've got all my little strips all cut now, and I've created my base card, which has the fold at the top. Now I'm going to do this in traditional Christmas colours, so I've cut myself a green mat, a red mat and a white mat. Now this white layer I've embossed with some snowflakes, and I'm just going to add all these 3 layers together. Pop your base card on one side for now. So we'll just add these in together. And then these are the layers that you're going to work on first of all. So we've just left a small border around all the edges, and it doesn't really show up on the green mat underneath, but you can see when it's on the white card that it does leave small borders. Now, using your cutting mat, you're going to lay that on your cutting mat nice and straight, and then you're going to position these on your base. So I'm going to come down to one level, and that's the, just let me show you, that's the mark, that's the straight level there. So I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to move up to there, and then I'm going to miss one and miss one on that side and add that in there, and the same on the other side. And then any bits that you cut off you can add in at the bottom. So miss one, and then any bits that you've got you can add in at the top. So there you've got a nice stripy glittery background to your card. So I'm going to glue those in place, and then I'm going to trim the edges off so that it's nice and neat. So I decided to work on the white layer on its own, and I've just added the gold strips in, and instead of cutting them off, I've just folded them around the back. Now all I need to do is just add some glue, and then I can put some foam tape along the back of the card, and that's ready then to just add to my base. So I'm adding some red ribbon to this. I'm just peeling back the backing on the double-sided tape. Make sure that your ribbon is the right way around, and keep it as straight as you can on the card. Now once it's fastened on the back, you can take off the rest of the backing paper. And then all that's ready to add to your base card, and you're just going to leave a small border around the edges and add it to the base. Now to create my sentiment, I've stamped and embossed it on some card, and I'm using Labels 4, but you can do this from any labels die that you have. I've used die number 5 to cut the sentiment, and I've used die number 6 to cut the green layer there. But I want a layer that sits in between, so I've taken the die number 5 and I've traced around the outside of it, and then I've cut this out. So that's created a faux nesty, and then when they're all layered up, I have my green and my red layer together. Now I'm going to glue my sentiment to the red layer, and then I'm going to put foam tape behind that and add it to the green. Now I've put some foam tape on the back of these layers, and I'm just taking the backing off. Now because this is being stuck to some glitter card, it does need a little bit of extra glue, because sometimes the glitter won't allow things to stick. So I'm just going to place that into the centre of the card. Now from the same ribbon I've tied a lovely double bow, and I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of this and add this to the centre of the ribbon around the card. Just a little spot of glue under there will keep that ribbon in place. There it is. And then I've got a lovely red acrylic little flower, and I'm just going to add that to the knot. And there you've got a really pretty card made with your own glitter strips, and that's ready to send for Christmas.